Every man watching this wants the same thing, and every woman already knows it. You want her to desire you intensely. You want her to give herself to you fully, not because you asked, but because she couldn't stop herself. That's the real game. The problem is this: the moment you ask for it, the moment you chase or explain, you kill the desire. Niccolò Machiavelli knew that true power is never begged for. It is felt. A ruler doesn't ask for loyalty. His presence alone makes his subjects give it. And with women, the same law applies. The man who asks for attention, affection, or surrender lowers himself. The man who holds power makes her want to give, believing it was her idea all along. That is what this video will teach you. A Machiavellian strategy to flip the script. You will see how to project power without words, how to build a frame so magnetic she adjusts to you, and how to spark the instinct that makes her give more than you ever imagined, without you ever requesting it. By the end, you will no longer be the man who waits to be chosen. You will be the man she feels compelled to chase, to please, to surrender to, because losing you would feel unthinkable. The first move you must master is this: hold the frame at all times. Every interaction with a woman is not casual talk. It is a silent negotiation of power. She is testing, often without even knowing it, to see who sets the rhythm, who carries the atmosphere, who decides the pace. If you let her lead, if you start chasing her responses, filling every silence, or bending yourself to keep her entertained, you have already stepped into her frame. And once you are in her frame, you are nothing more than another admirer waiting for permission. But when the frame is yours, everything changes. She adjusts to you. She feels your silence as weight, not emptiness. She watches your timing, your stillness, your calm presence, and her body reacts before her mind even does. You stop being one of many. You become the center of gravity around which she naturally begins to orbit. Machiavelli would remind you, power that must be declared is no power at all. A true ruler doesn't scream for respect. His presence makes respect inevitable. And with women, the same law applies. You don't need to convince her with words. You don't need to announce who you are. You radiate it. In your posture, in your calmness, in the way you never rush to explain or overperform. This is how you make her give without you asking. You let her feel the quiet tension of wanting your approval. You let her lean forward to fill the silence you control. You let her invest more because she cannot read you the way she reads every other man. That gap between her desire for certainty and your refusal to chase is where attraction grows uncontrollably. The frame is not about controlling her. It is about controlling yourself. And when you do, she cannot help but move into your orbit. Not because you begged, not because you asked, but because her instincts tell her she must. The second move you must master is this: scarcity creates value. Human nature does not treasure what is always available. It treasures what is rare, what feels earned, what carries weight. A woman's psyche is no different. Attention that flows endlessly is like cheap perfume. It loses its scent within minutes. But attention that is measured, withheld, and released at precise moments, that becomes unforgettable, like a rare fragrance she can never quite get out of her head. Machiavelli would have told you, generosity given too freely breeds contempt. The same law applies to desire. If you flood a woman with compliments, validation, or presence, she grows numb to it. She expects it. She stops valuing it. But if you give with precision, rarely, unpredictably, suddenly each gesture feels like treasure, and her mind begins to chase more of it. Think about it like this. Imagine you're with her at a crowded dinner party. Every man around her is laughing too loudly, giving her endless attention, competing for her smile. You do the opposite. You speak little, but when you do, you drop a sharp, well-aimed observation that makes her pause, that makes her feel you see something others don't. Then you return to your calm, composed presence. Hours later, she remembers that single remark more than the flood of noise from everyone else. That is scarcity. Or imagine she is used to men filling her phone with notifications, constant texts, emojis, attempts to stay relevant. You don't play that game. Instead, you let absence sharpen her desire. Days pass, and just when her mind begins to wonder if she lost your attention, she receives not a needy check-in, but a message that reveals you remembered something small, specific, and meaningful, she once said. Not noise, precision. And that precision cuts deeper than 100 attempts at small talk. Scarcity creates tension, and tension is the soil where desire grows. Women are not addicted to what they already own. They are addicted to the feeling of pursuit, to the uncertainty of not knowing when the next spark will come. That is why the casino never closes, because unpredictability is irresistible. In the same way, your attention must never feel like running water, always available. It must feel like a rare currency, given only when earned. Here's what Machiavelli would tell you if he stood beside you now. The rarest treasures are guarded not by walls, but by discipline. Do not give yourself too easily. Do not reveal all at once. Allow her to feeling that each moment of your attention, each glance, each word, is a prize she must win. When you do this, you no longer chase her desire. You become the source of it. The third move you must master is this: never reward indifference, only reward investment. Most men make the fatal mistake of giving more when a woman gives less. She grows cold, and they respond with effort. She withdraws, and they pour more attention, more validation, more gifts. They think persistence will win her over. In reality, they are training her to devalue them. Every time you reward her lack of effort, you teach her that she can offer nothing and still be fed. Machiavelli warned of this dynamic in politics. A wise prince makes his favors rare. Why? Because when favors are too easily given, they lose all meaning. The same applies here. Your attention, your time, your presence, these are not infinite handouts. They are rewards, and rewards must be earned. Here's how this plays out in the real world. Imagine she cancels plans at the last minute. The average man replies with understanding, with patience, with a desperate attempt to reschedule. He thinks kindness will make him stand out. It doesn't. It makes him predictable, forgettable, cheap. The man who understands power does not punish her, but he does not chase either. He simply pulls back, invests elsewhere, continues his life as if nothing was lost. Then, when she makes the effort to initiate next time, when she puts energy into seeing him, that is when he rewards, with his presence, with his time, with his focus. Or imagine she begins a conversation, but keeps it shallow, distracted, distant. The average man would fight to keep her attention alive, scrambling for jokes or topics. The man who holds frame does the opposite. He lets the energy die. He withdraws his presence. He leaves silence in the space she created. And when she returns with genuine effort, when she digs deeper, when she asks the real questions, that is when he leans in. That is when he gives warmth. That is when she feels the difference between effort that earns and indifference that loses. This is the law of polarity. Attention is a currency. If you spend it on nothing, it becomes worthless. If you spend it only when she invests, its value multiplies. And here's the hidden truth. Women bond deeper when they earn. It is not what you give that makes them attach. It is the effort they expend to win it. Every ounce of energy she invests into chasing your attention forges a bond that no gift, no compliment, no easy validation could ever achieve. Machiavelli would have whispered this into your ear. Never give without calculation. Never reward without purpose. Every reward must tie her loyalty tighter. And when you live by this rule, You stop being the man who convinces, and you become the man she works to deserve. The fourth move you must master is this. Stop convincing with words. Make her feel your presence instead. Weak men believe attraction is built through explanations, jokes, endless talk. They try to flood the space with noise, thinking that if they say enough, she'll finally surrender. But women don't surrender to noise. They surrender to gravity. Think about this. Machiavelli noted that true rulers never need to declare their power. It radiates in how others move around them. A king doesn't shout to be respected. He simply enters the room, and the weight of his presence is undeniable. The same law governs attraction. A man who controls the atmosphere doesn't need to ask for her attention. Her body responds before her mind has even processed why. The way you hold eye contact without blinking first. The way you take pauses, not rushing to fill silence but letting her lean into it. The way you move slowly, deliberately, like time itself bends to your rhythm. These are signals her unconscious picks up on, and they awaken something primal. Picture this. You walk into a bar, not rushing, not seeking approval. Other men crowd around her, competing with words and energy. You don't. You stay composed, leaning back, speaking little. She feels it immediately, the contrast. While others orbit her, she begins to orbit you. Her laugh lingers too long. Her eyes return too often. Her body shifts toward you without her realizing. That is presence. Or imagine a private moment. She tests you, throwing a sharp comment to see if she can rattle you. The average man reacts, defends, explains, pleads. You don't. You let the words hang in the air, meet her gaze with calm eyes, and smile faintly. She feels the tension in her own body, because she expected you to bend, and you didn't. That unshakable stillness ignites more desire than any sweet line ever could. Presence is not about being loud. It's about creating the sensation that you are inevitable, that she is not entertaining you. You are entertaining her by simply being there. It's about radiating the unspoken truth. You are not trying to win her. You are already complete. And if she wants access to your world, she must step into it. And this is what Machiavelli would have taught you. Power that must be spoken has already been lost. The most effective influence is invisible, felt rather than declared. Women don't crave the man who argues for his value. They crave the man who moves as if his value is unquestionable. This is the essence of silent command. And when you embody it, she won't even realize when the shift happens. She'll find herself giving, opening, chasing, without ever knowing why. The fifth move you must master is this. Stop trying to earn her. Make her feel she must earn you. Most men walk into a woman's world like applicants in front of a queen, trying to prove they're worthy of her time. They shower her with attention, validate her endlessly, and secretly hope she'll choose them. That mindset is death, because the moment you try to earn her, she knows she already owns you, and what is owned cannot be desired. Instead, you must invert the game. The most desired women are used to men chasing. What they are not used to is a man who evaluates them, who makes them feel they need to rise to his standard. This is the psychological switch that makes her restless. Instead of asking herself, "Do I like him?" she starts asking, "Does he like me enough?" And once she falls into that question, you've already won. Machiavelli would tell you this. Rulers maintain power not by giving themselves freely, but by making others dependent on their favor. In love, it is the same. When she feels she must win you, your time, your attention, your approval, her investment grows deeper. She begins to prove herself without even realizing it. Picture the scene. At a party, every man is lined up to talk to her, flooding her with compliments. You notice her, but you don't rush. You move through the room with your own orbit, engaged with others, enjoying yourself. When you finally cross her path, you don't flatter her beauty. That's common currency. Instead, you ask a question that cuts through her mask, something sharp that forces her to reveal more of herself. Suddenly, she is not the queen judging you. She is the woman working to hold your focus. Or imagine in private. She teases, waiting for you to over-explain, to prove your value like every other man has. Instead, you shrug, smirk, and let the silence breathe. She feels the tension, the uncomfortable realization that you are not bending, not competing, that if she wants more from you, she will need to offer more of herself. That's when she starts to fight for your validation, without ever knowing the trap was set. This is the reversal that few men dare to play, because it requires strength. You must not be afraid to lose her attention for a moment. You must not collapse under the discomfort of silence. You must be the one who stays centered while she wonders if she measures up. And it's exactly that uncertainty that awakens her primal drive. Understand this. Women do not obsess over what they already own. They obsess over what feels just out of reach. They crave the man who makes them chase, the man whose value cannot be bought with flattery or effort, but must be proven through time, consistency, and surrender. If you stayed until now, you already know. You are no longer one of the men who ask. You are no longer the man who explains, who begs, who waits for permission. That version of you has been buried here. From this moment forward, you understand the truth. Women do not give because of logic. They give because of gravity. They surrender not to words, but to presence. They invest not when you plead, but when your silence makes them crave your attention like air. The men who ask are forgotten. The men who project are remembered. And you, now, are one of the rare few who can walk into her world and make her give freely, because she feels it was her idea, her instinct, her choice. This is the Machiavellian secret. Power is not in taking. It is in becoming so rare, so steady, so inevitable, that giving to you feels like the only option. Carry this beyond her, because the man who can inspire surrender and desire is the same man who can move mountains in life. You no longer wait for the world to hand you what you want. You create the space where the world feels compelled to give it. If this opened your eyes and you're serious about becoming the man who's in full control of his life, my book is now available. The Undeniable Man, Built to be Chosen. It's a strategic guide for men who want to attract, lead, and dominate in their love life and beyond. Whether you're single or in a relationship, no fluff, no tricks, just pure, powerful strategy that will set you apart from 99% of men, and that you will actually use every day. The link is in the description. And if this video spoke to you, don't just keep your thoughts in your head. Write a comment, even just a few words. It helps you remember these lessons, and it might help someone else too. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this content, and share it with someone who, in your eyes, needs it right now. Just trust your instinct. We're all trying to get clearer, more solid inside. So let's build minds that don't break.